The 2021 Apure clashes started on the 21st of March 2021 in the south of the Paez municipality, in the Apure state in Venezuela, specifically in La Victoria, a location bordering with Colombia, between guerrilla groups identified as Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia dissidents and the Venezuelan government led by Nicolas Maduro. The conflict has provoked the displacement of at least 6,000 Venezuelans in Colombian territory, the destruction of the custom house in La Victoria, bombardments by the Venezuelan aviation, 2 casualties and several wounded of the Venezuelan armed forces. Colombian guerrilla leaders Iván Márquez and Jesús Santrich have been dismissed from responsibility of the attack by media outlets, who have attributed it to internal rebels of the armed group. Some civilians have accused security forces of committing abuses, including detaining and killing civilians, as well as both looting and burning homes. Mechanic José Castillo told Reuters that people were dressed in Venezuelan army uniforms in order to pass them off as guerrillas. Venezuelan non-governmental organizations, such as Fundaraids and Provia, have denounced human rights violations committed by Venezuelan security forces against Venezuelan civilians, warning that the death of 5 family relatives in El Repiel could constitute extrajudicial killings and drawing similarities with the massacre of El Amparo in 1988, where Venezuelan military and police officers killed 14 fishermen and presented them as guerrillas. On the 23rd of June 2016, the Colombian government and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia rebels signed a historic ceasefire deal, bringing them closer to ending more than 5 decades of conflict. Although the deal was rejected in the subsequent October plebiscite, the same month, President of Colombia Juan Manuel Santos was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to bring the country's more than 50-year-long civil war to an end. A revised peace deal was signed the following month and submitted to Congress for approval. The House of Representatives unanimously approved the plan on the 30th of November, a day after the Senate also gave its backing. Dissidents formerly part of the FARC have refused to lay down their arms after the FARC government peace treaty came into effect in 2016. The dissidents number some 1,200 armed combatants with an unknown number of civilian militia supporting them. These fighters are believed to be heavily involved in the production and sale of cocaine. Dissidents of FARC's First Front are located in the eastern plains of Colombia. Zone 40 and their dissident 43rd Front moved into the Amazonas state of western Venezuela. Venezuela has served as the primary location for many FARC dissidents. On the 15th of July 2018, the Colombian and Peruvian governments launched a joint military effort known as Operation Armageddon to combat FARC dissidents. Peru issued a 60-day state of emergency in the Putumayo province, an area bordering both Colombia and Ecuador. On the first day alone, more than 50 individuals were arrested in the operation, while 4 cocaine labs were dismantled. The group has attempted to recruit locals in the Putumayo province in Peru to take up their cause. On the 28th of July 2019, during the 25 São Paulo Forum hosted in Caracas, Nicolas Maduro declared that the FARC dissidents leaders Iván Márquez and Jesús Santrich were welcome in Venezuela and to the São Paulo Forum. Experts have argued that the motive for the clashes is the control of drug trafficking routes. The Special Actions Forces, a task force of the Venezuelan National Police, has increased its presence in the area. Experts have affirmed that the FAES has gathered intelligence about the population and that they have not fought against guerrillas forces. Journalist Rocio San Miguel, specialized in military topics, has declared that the presence of the FAES in the area could be attributed to distrust of the executive branch in the armed forces. On the 21st of March 2021, an irregular armed group identified as FARC dissidents started an attack to the Venezuelan Army battalion in La Victoria town, located in the Colombian-Venezuelan border. As soon as the clashes started, a strong military presence was reported in the Apure state. The Guasdualito airport was taken and militarized. The same day, K-8 combat planes of the Venezuelan Air Force bombarded the lower part of La Victoria. The bombardments were directed at guerrilla campsites. Javier Tarazona, director of the NGO Funder Raids, argued that the bombings were local and did not have the purpose of targeting the Colombian guerrillas that operated inside Venezuela. The following day, on the 22nd of March, the Venezuelan defense minister, Vladimir Padrino Lopez, declared that 2 Venezuelan soldiers were killed and that 32 guerrillas had been arrested. He also assured having neutralized the leader of the attacks, alias Nando, considering the situation as controlled. Shootouts and artillery mobilization. Conti,